Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Aurora Overwatch Clash. Week 6 here coming out with the Kimono Kiangs versus the glammed out Grizzlies. Coming in here, we got a Battle of the Beast, and we're going into Lijiang Tower. Bans being Ramatra by the Grizzlies, and the Kiangs banned out Tracer. So we'll see what both teams come out here. What are your thoughts on this battle that's going to happen out here, Greg?
My thoughts are that I put the bands backwards on the stream, and I'd like to apologize to everybody for that one. I'm sorry. Now that I fixed that, though, I think this is going to be a great matchup. The Kiangs have, if I remember correctly, they won their last game 3-1 over the Johto Giants. So they're coming in hot right now. And they're going to be looking to pick up even more momentum right now, where the glammed Grizzlies, though, there's a fire to them. This is a team looking for their first win on the season, and I can tell they're hungry. They want it. So I'm excited to see which of these teams is going to be able to set themselves up, get that momentum going forward for the rest of the season.
Oh yeah, coming to your initial comps, we're seeing not the full looks right now, but it looks like the Kiangs are going to be looking for just a rush down comp, playing Bash and playing Ryan. Kiri and Moira, you don't really have any range. You're just fighting to kill on a 3-2-1.
Yep.
On the other side here, though, you have the Diva, you have the Cass, you have the Detta. It's a little more standardized in today's meta, at least, to where Diva's just piss broken, Detta's still really strong. So it's just kind of like a safe neutral comp. But May, Reaper, Reinhardt, we'll see how the Diva's going to attack this.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to, displace the Reinhardt from the point, and it's going to be even harder with EJ off the map right here. Spinal going in deep, though. He's under a lot of pressure. But is able to safely back out, give that space. So the first point flip is going to go the way of the Kimono Kiangs. And now the big task for these Grizzlies, how do you displace the Reinhardt here? How do you get past German Rectangle Man?
Met already on Dojo right now, so reduce on angle. Pin comes out by Spinal, does push Trevin and Met off the map. Trevin does not have the fly to get back on. Met is going to be able to get back, and that's going to have to be as stable as Nuttier is stuck in still and is going to get staggered. 1 HP, Southwest barely getting out with the Wraith, and Hyper 225 here sitting at 1 HP looking for a TP once they stable up. Yeah, I mean 25% already coming out. Yet Spinal 80 to this, and the
Spinal's
BM coming out by Spinal.
Spinal is emoting on the bridge to build that Kitsune rush a little faster. So that's going to be very good for the ult charge on the support to Spinal. Once again, pinning in. No shield, though. 300 HP. Under a lot of pressure. As EJ gets the first pick.
EJ being able to find this pick onto Odin. No ultimates on yet. Close is going to be shut. EJ getting a second pick on the Forever Counter. Nuttier being able to clean up. Also, EJ with the third one looking at Spinal. And that's going to be able to clean up here. And that's going to be a nice little fight here for the Grizzlies. Coming in after 52% for the Bitterns.
Yeah, really nice fight when they're able to flip the point. Neither of these support ults coming online in time to stabilize for the Kimono Kiangs, so nothing to be done about with Spinal's shield gets broken, all the pressure comes out. Now the rotation going to come into the white room for the Kimono Kiangs to try to get this rush comp the shortest lanes they can.
Coming online, 98% for both. Shadow is going to be able to clean up too, and that's going to be able to get the pin onto Trevin and Met are going to fall first. And that's just going to send the Grizzlies home packing. Coalescence being invested also try to get these staggers. Forever Kind being able to find out Hyper. Looking for another one. EJ 1 HP. Nuttier 1 HP. Trying to wall ride. Being able to slip. EJ's going to fall down to the fire strike by Spinal and Southways. He's going to clean up on Nuttier. And that's going to be 65% and ticking for the cost of just your 2 ultimates. But, we have the set of the Grizzlies who didn't use any. Spinal stuck in. Falling down. Shield half HP. Met being able to get full stacks. Blizz comes out. And Kitsune. They're investing everything. EJ's going to be able to sit here and farm with his high noon. Spinal and Meta down. Odin's going to get booped off the map by Nuttier. And it's actually the Grizzlies are going to be able to recontest here. Blast is going to get from Southwest. Gets 3 here. And that is going to clean up the objective. Any hopes that the Grizzlies are going to have to capture first potentially.
Oh, Southwest going to get that late kill onto Trevin as well. The bomb was committed by Trevin to try to give a chance here, but not enough. But the beat onto Met is in time, and Met gets the first pick. This is doable win.
Exactly, being able to touch 99%, nothing is over yet. There is no more ultimates on board. Chevin's going to clean up Southwest, but Foreverkind is going to be able to kill Nutty. No supports here for the Grizzlies. Every damage is going to be lethal. Neither supports for either team. Moira's still alive actually for Foreverkind. And the Grizzlies, I mean, they were able to get this recontest, but now you have to look at your comp. You swap Cat, you swap Lucio, you have no flex support, you have Sombra now, you have no poke. How are you going to beat a Mei poke?
I mean, this has got to just be some really nice dive coordination. Is the Trevin Doomfist the truth? Is going to be the question of the day. And I think it might just be. But the Coalescence online for Foreverkind. The only ultimate in the server here. Good value, good tempo control out of this Coalescence could be huge for the Kamino Kiangs right now.
Spawn EJ and Hyper being on the funnel. Southwest falling on HP. Hyper trying to prevent this, but
Foreverkind got punched out of the Coalescence!
Trevin being able to kill Ross, so Trevin's still 1 HP. You have the hack on a Spinal, half HP. Odin half. Foreverkind being able to find out here. Trevin 1 HP. Battle of the Brawls. The wall comes out by Odin's and going to be able to clean up onto Trevin. Met falling on 1 HP. EJ still on the point and Hyper still contesting. As the point is going to be shortly flipped here. The EJ is going to be able to get a recontest. Ross is going to be able to get the headshot kill. And that Spinal's going to shot it with Ghostbuster. He's busting some ghosts out.
Spinal dives there.
I'm going to let you take over.
Yeah, Trevin now with the charged punch. No tank on the other side. The Meteor Strike comes down onto the Mei. Goes for that pick. And they're going to be able to flip this fight once again. Spinal missing the shatter, and Trevin takes full advantage. Now all of a sudden, a really confident ult bank available for the Glammed Grizzlies that should give them a good chance to close out this point as Spinal moves over to the Winston. The Blizzard, though, could be very powerful on the point this late. The teams are not going to want to step off the point to get out of that Blizzard. EMP down. Southwest onto Met, though. The Blizzard on point. Freezes Nuttier. He goes down. Punched out of the Death Blossom is Southwest, but it's now Kitsune Rush on point. Trevin has to fight through this. Trevin punches 2 off the map. Oh my goodness, it's just Spinal. Spinal alone versus 3 on the point, stalling to the best of his ability, but punched out of the bubble and goes down. Met now with a nice celebratory Vendetta ult as the first point here is going to go in favor of the Glammed Grizzlies. Trevin, the hero.
I mean, there is just... You have the 4-man EMP coming in to start making sure everybody's half his feet. It's Trevin being the finest punch that hit 3 people. It hit Rasa into the wall, being able to follow up onto that. And 2 more off the map. And, you know, it was so awkward. I feel like it was more on the... 1 second here. It was more on the Kiangs, who just kind of like, they had 4 ultimates going into final fight, 99% to 30%. And they just weren't able to capitalize on these ults. I mean, you had Hyper and EJ harassing Southwest on the Reaper in the backline and spawn. But also, Foreverkind's getting his call canceled by punch. The only thing that could cancel other than hack was just so detrimental that allowed the Kiangs to come back into this.
Yeah, that
the Grizzlies to come back
onto that Coalescence was really a huge turning point. The Trevin Doomfist has been really impressive, and it's been impressive to the point that Trevin's going to keep it. No swaps coming forward onto this next point for the Glammed Grizzlies. They've decided this all-in dive comp is the wave, and EJ is making it work.
Still off the map is going to be able to TP back onto the point. South is going to clean up on Trevin, pin on the Met. As now you're down two of your damage dealers here for the side of the Grizzlies, and that's going to be first capture to the Kiangs. I mean, looking at both comps here, right? One team wants to just hyper angle max on the other, and the other one just sits on a bunker. It's just a battle of the clock. Actually, Ross is gonna be able to clean up Hyper.
That's a crazy shot. Hyper was in the skybox. I was kind of looking at that, but I kind of decided he was too far away for anything to realistically die. Southwest getting a nice pick onto Nuttier as well, and this is gonna make this recontest really slow. This is a lot of just effectively free point progress for the Glammed Grizzlies, and all they really want to do here is just sit on this point. They are not stepping forward at all. They just want to, you know, sit on this point, bunker down. You know, if anyone commits, we can put resources into stopping them, but Foreverkind is getting very low.
Yeah, fight is fully breaking out. We have Matt being able to find Foreverkind at 1 HP as well. Nuttier being able to get this nice little boop kill onto Rasa. Big punch coming out of Southwest, 1 HP is going to fall down after that. Odin, no block. Spinal, 1 HP. And that is going to close out as Spinal's going to be able to try to get these last couple percentage, and we're going to see 53% here. I mean, yeah, the issue now is, how is the Reinhardt team going to be able to get to the point when you have a team sitting on all these angles?
Yeah, the hope would be that, you know, you just amp speed with your Lucio, you know, try to get straight to that point and just hope you can get a flip going, but it's going to be really difficult to accomplish that with how just all over the place everyone for the Glammed Grizzlies is, as Trevin's Meteor Strike is forced, going in for an aggressive play here. Has the powered punch, gets it onto Rasa, but Spinal trades. Under a lot of pressure now as Trevin has to punch out.
You trade 1-for-1, but you lost your flex support here for the Reinhardt team. For the Kiangs, it's just going to be so detrimental. Empowered punch coming in for Trevin being able to creep everybody. And he's going to be able to farm his next Dumo very quickly. Maywall coming out by Odin trying to prevent this, but Trevin is going to be able to get on the
Oh my goodness, that was the shatter. And Hyper is going to drag the Reinhardt off the map as well. So this Blizzard from Odin is going to be able to get some really good trades, though. And this fight is getting messy as we go forward. TP from Rasa trying to stay alive. Hyper out. Odin on the point flipping. EJ contesting. EJ just stalling on the point, but not going to be able to do so for much longer. But Trevin is back, and Trevin has the pick. Southwest.
Punch. EJ cleaning up on Southwest after that. You're up 2 players here for the Grizzlies, and you still have had cap this entire time due to EJ being able to hold this, and Otis could on where it's be. And that's just going to be, I mean, if you think, like, all we need to see here for the side of the Kiangs is a Cassidy, and you shut down all 5 characters.
Yeah, I mean, you're so right, but we're going to see the beat engage coming out. Met going to try to get this Vendetta ult to connect onto something, but can't. Odin under a lot of pressure, though. Goes down early. Southwest has moved over onto this Sombra. That should put a lot of pressure onto the Trevin Doomfist. Enough to get the Meteor Strike out, but Trevin, you know, has that Meteor Strike available. The Cat ult as well. The overwhelming force of the ults on the point, able to get the map win in the favor of the Glammed Grizzlies.
I mean, hey, if you show me the first submap and the second submap, the second one definitely looked more definitive that the Grizzlies were the better team on this map, especially with their comp. But like the first one as well was just being able to play on this garden submap was so like 99-99, both teams stalling up for 2 minutes OT, right? And this punch that we're gonna watch here, folks, watch.
Oh, that's 2. And immediately kills Rasa as well. Such impact.
But yeah, I mean, if you're enjoying what you're seeing, folks, please stay tuned as we should be going to a short break here, and we'll let you know what the maps and bands come through as we receive them. But stay tuned and don't leave.
All right.
Hello, welcome back to a Aurora Overwatch clash here. Week 6, Group 4, with the Glammed out Grizzlies versus the Kamino Kiangs. And we have the Grizzlies here winning on this Doom Sombra. And it was Doom Sombra
It was
Reaper?
Doom Sombra, like... No, it was Doom Sombra Detta.
Sombra
Yeah.
Detta here running 2-0. First point was a 99-99 banger, and the second point here was a little more, what would be the word? More
Confident.
confident of a showing here.
I'll say they were confident. They looked comfortable on the Doom Detta Jetpack Cat comp. I don't know who cooked that up. I don't know who thought of that, but it worked. But now we are going to Atlas here, and they are running back the Doomfist again, but the Vendetta is banned now, so Met is going to look for the Tracer instead, and now we're going to see a different look for the Kimono Kiangs, who are moving Odin over to tank instead of the Spinal Reinhardt that we saw last map.
I think they're just wanting to try some different stuff, especially with Malga being banned on our replace Spinal. Now Trevin going in, being able to get a punch on a Rasa and Foreverkind, and Odin's going to find the first pick here onto Trevin as you get stunned into a wall after going in.
Yeah, really big first pick there. There's not a lot of opportunity now for the Glammed out Grizzlies on this point, and EJ is going to stagger as well. Trevin is now going to move over onto this Diva pick. No more Trev Fist, as we will see how that adaptation is going to affect things. Met's recall got forced very early there.
Infinite Dominant, at least for the tank matchup, Diva is favored so as long as you don't play front to back. And prevent the Dominant from getting good shoves or good crystals onto his cards. Foreverkind is going to be stuck on the point. Block is forced out as the point starts flipping for the side of the Grizzlies. Trevin falling down to 1 HP due to Odin being able to show up. And Southwest is looking for this kill onto Trevin. Odin being able to get the pick onto Hyper. And then after that, Spinal being able to get the DMAC onto Trevin. But it is going to be traded here. Met being able to kill the flex support for the side of the Kiangs. Pulse coming on to Foreverkind. He's going to be able to block in time. And is going to be Liv. EJ is going to get tethered here by Southwest with the Mizuki. And the point is going to stay in favor here for the Kiangs.
Yeah, I don't think Trevin's going to be able to get back in time here for another fight, but Met has the touch available. If the stalls are good, we might see one more contest here. Spinal, what a big first pick onto Nuttier. I'm looking at the stalls on point and just totally missed a huge impact first pick. But now they are looking for another fight here, so we'll see if resources can be forced. Spinal's gonna OC, so that is resources invested. Glammed out Grizzlies got what they wanted out of that engagement, in my opinion.
Exactly, for sure. As the final picks are going to be coming out, you do get the OC out. And I think this first point is going to be the hardest here for the side of the Grizzlies, though, as it is a more enclosed spot where you're able to sit and bunker as a team. But now coming into the rest of Atlas, where everything is going to be more open out, a lot of space in between the points, especially with the cover and the bunker spots, as Trevin's going to move over to this Orisa. I'm not the biggest fan of into May and Domina, especially with Tether whenever you go in and come out of gold, but we'll see how the Trevin... I've seen Trevin play Doom, I've seen Trevin play ball, now it's time to see Orisa, right?
Yeah, so we're going to see how well this Orisa swap works out, and I'm also interested to see how Foreverkind gets good value out of this May ult here. It's going to be hard to fight on the point here with this May ult available. Sanctuary out on the point from Southwest, but Trevin got the first pick onto Spinal and ate the Domino ult.
A very good showing so far for point is not being flipped. Trevin being able to touch Rasa falling out on 1 HP. We have the Blizzard coming out for Foreverkind. And Trevin was barely going to get out without you having to use gold. Flip is going to go on the side of the Kiangs, though. Odin half HP. Foreverkind pulse coming out by Met is not going to hit anything. Unfortunately, Foreverkind's going to fall after that. Next is going to be Odin is the last one to touch. But they are going to be able to get a nice little 15% out of this exchange. They also had the cost of 4 of their ultimates for only 2 of the side of the Grizzlies, though. So the Grizzlies do have a strong ult bank coming into this next fight.
I mean, the economy for the Kiangs is just in shambles after committing that much. I mean, what a massive eat from Trevin onto the Panopticon. That, you know, the Kiangs decided to invest heavily to try to still win that fight after the Panopticon was eaten, but, you know, just unable to work that out. And now the beat and the duplicate in early. A lot of pressure fighting deep. But as EJ gets the pick onto Spinal, Southwest goes down as well.
Looking for blood, about to get this overclock. 90% on the dupe. Odin falling into 1. Is going to be able to get his 2 picks though, which wasn't necessary, and that's going to be able to clean up with Trevin on Rasa and Odin. As now 75% coming out, we're seeing the end of the second point here, going into the favor of 1-1, assuming nobody on the side is going to be able to touch.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a difficult touch. They don't really have a high mobility comp. The Lucio from Southwest is really the only character that would have a chance, and he's not looking to go for that. So we're going to go to the next point now, but you know, starting to get closer to ultimates available again for the Kiangs, but still not quite there. And Orisa and Moira ults both online, the Pulse Bomb as well. You know, it's going to be very difficult here for the Kiangs with this ult disadvantage to get the first cap here.
Exactly. The issue here is technically the Kiangs are going to have more ultimates coming online, but they're going to be coming out on a later interval, as they're going to have 4 ultimates soon.
Yeah, if they can
compared
stall
to just the 2.
Yeah, if they can stall this out and have all of those ultimates available, they could flip this around. But, you know, getting that before the point is unlocked and before the point is flipped is going to be very difficult. Odin under a lot of pressure. Gets stuck. Goes down.
Unfortunately, the pulse bomb that's going to come out. Trevin 1 HP, ripping the ult. I believe he does have the heal perk though, so I think he popped it to stable a little bit. No, he didn't pick the heal perk. He just popped it at 1 HP. Knitting here, being able to hit the second picker onto Ross's. Staggers potentially coming out. Spinal 1 HP. Rivercon 1 HP. No block. Falls down just shy of their spawn doors. 95 to the Blizz here. For the cost of just your pulse and your Terra Surge, I mean, you got out the Kitsune here, which is going to be the key opening ult, other than the Emery ult coming online.
Yeah. Now, this Emery ult can be a really powerful tool here, though. I think that, you know, if EJ's marking that and looking for it, it can make it difficult for Spinal to make a big play here, but it's going to be a big ask for EJ to get that going. As the Panopticon comes out as the opener, and Southwest is under so much pressure, but gets the beat off and gets it down to Odin as well. Blizzard on point onto EJ, hits the dupe. EJ will go down to Spinal on the point. And this is turning into a very long fight
here for the Grizzly. Spinal opening with the Emery ult. Beat is coming out from the side of another. No more ultimates for either team coming out. This is a battle of if Odin's going to be able to stall long enough for Spinal to be finding a pick. And he does Met's going to be able to follow Odin. There's nobody else to touch here other than nobody tanky. Trevin falling down to 1 HP. Spinal looking for this trade. Gold comes out by Trevin, is going to be able to stable up. Spinal being split by himself. And is going to be able to get cleaned up with the hop of Met and Netty. Next, the fall, though, is Met's going to fall down to Southwest, but Trevin's going to be able to get this trade. It's just going to be Rasa and Foreverkind sucking on this point. 99%. And that's going to close out for the side of the Grizzlies here. Now we're going into the 4th point, match point, with a couple of swaps coming out here for the Kiangs.
Yeah, map point available now. And we're going to see the Sigma swap over for Odin. Southwest going to move over back to that Mizuki, and Spinal now going to be playing the Sojourn. So this does now all those ultimates really came out in the last team fight anyway, so it's not a huge loss for their ult economy, and it should give them, you know, a lot of front-loaded damage. The Mizuki and the Sigma do, you know, they can shoot their guns real good, but with the Orisa, Terra Surge, and the Pulse Bomb, they're looking to make an aggressive play win.
Coming out, is not going to be charged up enough to get a kill. Southwest finding her HP. Ross are going to be able to get this ult out. Netty are getting rocked. Hyper's going to find the first pick on Southwest, but it's going to be traded for Odin and Audio. Foreverkind's going to fall. As the Grizzlies are going to make a move, but Spinal's not going to do that. At least let it go without getting his 1, though, and getting a nice little headshot kill. And actually, Ross is going to be able to trade out, too. It's just a 2v1 here, but it's a Kirko versus a Cass and a Orisa. So, unfortunately, for the side of the Grizzlies, they're not going to come out.
Yeah, didn't
for the side of the Kiangs,
attention to that Cassidy swap. EJ off that Echo now, and that's going to give a more traditional hit scan angle to the blamed Grizzlies that they really haven't been running on either of the last 2 maps. So interesting to see that come out, and he's already very close to a high noon, so got a lot of value on that first fight.
Opening up is going to get rocked by Odin here. Half HP forcing the gold early. Odin split on this angle by himself as he starts to get collapsed in by Nutty. But it is going to be able to back up enough to get to the team. 55% on the point. We have Odin on this flux. Still 50 HP. Is going to be able to live enough for that. We have the Blizzard to maybe potentially touch point as well. But EJ having this high noon and Nutty coming up on the speed is going to be able to be mass pressure. Blizzard comes out, zones the entire point. EJ high nooning, trying to stable the team, is going to get walled off here by Forever Kind. Odin's going to be able to clean up on Nutty. EJ's not going to be able to find a good angle to use his ult. Trevin is going to clear on the spinal though, but is going to get traded out by Southwest. And Southwest is going to get 2. He's going to be able to pick EJ as well. And that's going to be the side of the Kiangs being able to capture the objective here on the match point.
Yeah, that's a huge flip over for the Kiangs, and the other really important thing is they didn't have to use the flux, they didn't have to commit the overclock, so that's 2 really powerful ultimates that also have the ability to kind of set each other up in a way that they still have access to for this next team fight. That should be really big. Now, Nuttier does have the beat though, so you want to make sure you don't overlayer those. You know, you don't want to end up in a situation where you pop both at the same time and the Nuttier beat is able to outvalue both. And Nuttier's gonna tempo beat! Oh, put Odin speared out of the flux! Spinal's OC has to be the hero now.
Make sure being popped on the point by South being able to stable. And
Trevin's
the Oriso being able to zone it.
as
He's going to
low.
pop it a little early though, was 1 HP. Odin being able to zone out, being able to keep his percent. 85 on the point. Ross is going to open up with this. Get Sune onto the point. Trevin's trying to zone it. Ross is still 1 HP. Southeast is going to be first of all, but Spinal's going to be able to trade that onto Hyper as there's no flex support for the side of the Grizzlies anymore. But EJ is going to be able to kill Spinal. Is it enough here though? Odin falling down to low HP. Ross forcing the TP. Odin by himself on the point. And they're going to cap Forever Kind coming back as this touch is going to have to stall it out. But it
Wait,
does use
they're leaving. Do they have another touch? Forever
Has
Kind
to be the
dies.
Mizuki with Soj. Soj coming in from the coast side, going to be able to get the slide onto the touch.
Oh.
Oh, no, they're not. And there's going to be the Grizzlies winning the second map here. Up 2-0 so far.
Brilliant spear there by Trevin, spearing Odin out of the flux after the tempo beat play comes out from Nuttier. That could have been disastrous, going for that tempo beat if they weren't able to cancel that flux in some other way. So finding that value was just so huge in that situation.
Oh, yeah. And then we are going to go to a short break here, folks. Stay tuned. We are on match point for the side of the glammed out Grizzlies. So we should be back shortly. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Aurora Overwatch Clash here, Week 6 here with the Grizzlies versus the Kamino Kiangs here going into King's Row. We are seeing Dr. Jago come in for the first time, but the bans were Freya for the side of the Grizzlies and Doomfist for the side of the Kiangs here coming into King's Row. Doom is a little bit of an awkward ban, but the Freya makes sense with Dr. Jago coming in personally. But what are your thoughts on this, Greg?
I mean, my thoughts on this are that Dr. Jargo has played like 30 hours of Freya in ranked this season, so that guy likes Freya. I totally understand where that one's coming from. The Doomfist ban is just like Trevin has too much aura. Like, he's just too powerful. They looked at one of the worst Doomfist maps in the game, in my opinion, and they said that guy is so him that we cannot allow him to play Doomfist. And honestly, I respect that. I agree. Trevin's that guy.
5, 4, 3.
We're going to see the Spinal Reinhardt come back here as Dr. Jargo coming in. No more Forever Kind. Spinal moving back to the Rhine. Odin back to the May. So this is a run back of what we saw in map 1 for the Kamino Kiangs in terms of the Reinhardt. Or on the other
keep
side,
you going on to the high ground.
Ooh, that's an Orisa Sim Bastion comp. This is diabolical.
This is a little evil to the team with no main support. Odin's not going to be able to find too much value here, as we're seeing Shevin being able to clear out the entirety of high ground, allowing Hyper, EJ, and sit up there and be able to force us out and potentially be able to touch, as Southwest is split with Rasa from the rest of their team. So Odin's not able to get there. Southwest going through hotel.
In danger?
It doesn't die.
How do we get away with
forcing
that?
gold. Shevin 1 HP and Matt.
How is Southwest alive right now? Dude, Southwest went down to single digits there. But the tick will come through for the Glammed Grizzlies. Spinal gonna pin onto the point, getting very low, but swinging the hammer hard onto EJ. Goes down, but the trade is in. Gonna be difficult now with no Baptiste for Trevin to stabilize. But form out from Hyper, putting down a ton of pressure onto the point.
And you have Odin stuck on the point. Trevin, no gold, no spin. Trying to live here, got to spin, but some time as Odin's going to be able to sit on this point, not trying to get this kill. Trevin falling down. Lamp is going to be forced out here by EJ Spinal, being able to get back in time. It seems like the Grizzlies are going to be able to get their foothold back in, as they've lost all high ground pressure after a minute and a half. And that's going to be stuck in a hotel and found out caught dead, as now half of our time bank is gone.
Yeah, but they did get 50% onto the point there, so not an entirely lost team fight. And with a good bank of ults coming up available to them, getting the remaining 2 ticks needed, you know, the sim wall can be a really powerful tool for this, especially with how much they were able to manipulate the positioning of the Kamino Kiangs with their teleport plays on the first team fight. Sim wall's going to come out now, and Spinal under a lot of pressure on the point. There's the window, and the blizzard on the window! It gets 2!
Going to be impressive here, as Dr. Jago, Odin, and Ross are going to be cleaning up this fight here with just the Kitsune for wall and window here on the defense, using 1 for 2. Or you got the Blizz as well, I forgot.
Yeah, the blizzard did come out from Odin. Really big blizzard.
I mean, you had good layers. The issues here, what do we have for Netier's ult now? We have to use the Shatter. I think your Dr. Jago is going to be able to open with this Bastion ult coming in fast, and we're going back in. Shatter comes out, Terrible Surge comes out, and Artillery as well, as we're being able to push them all in the spawn. Spinal is stuck behind enemy lines here. Odin's going to be able to clean up on the Hyper.
Oh, Nuttier, that's a very far back Ray, and it's going to be an easy disengage for the Glammed out Grizzlies, as Hyper's going to move over.
Dr. Jago is split though.
Oh, that's so big. Suddenly,
that Ray got value.
Ray got huge value, because now that is the ultimate available to try to secure this hold for the Kamino Kiangs, and they don't have it anymore.
Exactly, they still do it. Dr. Jago with his ultimate is going to be dead. Trevin cleaning up on Odin, EJ being able to clean up on Spinal. And we are seeing the final tick here as we go into second point of King's Row, 3 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, and we're going to see Hyper move over onto that M-Ray, take the mirror there. Now, I think M-Ray's kind of broken. That guy is kind of crazy. So I never am going to disagree with someone moving over to the M-Ray. The character, as long as you have Siphon, you kind of just don't die. So you can take some nice angles, get some really aggressive pressure down. Your time to kill.
So talking about the mirror, we're no longer on the mirror. Dr. Jargo ripping this ultimate though.
No hyper.
Using his Simwell. Spinal getting hit by all these turrets though in their spawn. As Trevin's gonna be stuck. Met inside little mega room is gonna get cold out though, as Rasa and Odin are gonna be able to clean up as well. And now we're seeing the Kiangs here being able to get their foothold back onto the objective.
Hyper getting staggered for moving back to the Bastion character. Making my analysis of the Emre swap worthless. Can't believe that guy. And oh, what's Spinal doing here? Wind, I think we're looking at a flank shatter play as he gets scouted out by Hyper on the Bastion. Good scouting from the Glammed Grizzlies to deny that play, but huge ult bank available for both teams here. And we're gonna see a lot of Qs come down.
Just click your Q City here as it comes to a standstill. No ults left. 3 ultimates used by the Grizzlies, and they lost the player just for the 2 ultimates here. Or 2 ults from the Grizzlies, 3 ults from the Kiangs. As Trevin's gonna be able to walk down, is gonna have to force gold. 1 HP trying to live. Odin comes out of block, no stable. And is going to get ran over. His car's gonna start moving again with a minute and 10 seconds left on the clock. Ultimate Banks online though is going to favor the attackers.
Ooh, this could be bad staggers onto Southwest and Rasa if they don't get out right now. Southwest though able to just about get out. Spinal's gonna move over to the Orisa here, so the Reinhardt has been given up. Honesty is dead in Overwatch win. As the Bastion ult gonna come out early for Hyper, trying to put pressure on this recontest, forcing back the Mei, but now the Kitsune rush out onto the cart, matched by the orbital ray on the cart, and Spinal and Odin under so much pressure. Simwall is gonna make this awkward for Spinal. Gotta stay left side because that's where your supports are, but pressured out, goes down. Southwest gonna die on the payload, and the Glammed out Grizzlies move forward to 3rd point. As Southwest is gonna move over to Wu Yang now, so no more Juno, no more speed boost, and a lot more poke as we move over to this much longer sight lines of 3rd point.
We really enjoyed this swap here by Southwest as well. But I'm also just a Wing fan. Dr. Jargo ripping the ult coming out. Lamp already forced out by EJ, looking to get a pick. Trevin falling under 1 HP. Dr. Jargo being able to zone out everybody. Is going to be split by himself though, and is going to die to Hyper 225.
Oh, Trevin got 2 with that! Trevin got 2 with that! I can't believe what I just watched win. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Can we give him just, I don't even know. Give him like $1 million or something. We need this guy in OWCS.
Dollars, right? It's your dollars, not mine.
I mean,
What is going to be coming out from EJ Spinal falling down to 1 HP, being able to stuck in this back point. Form coming out by Hyper 225. Odin has no block either. Spinal still 1 HP is going to be cleaned up by Hyper through the window. Is Odin no block? Is going to be starting to get chunked next as Trevin is pushing in on this advantage as we're coming into the final fight here. No ultimates online. Blizzard actually is 1% away for Odin. Is going to rip it on the point in 5 seconds. In 5, in 4, in 3, in 2, in 1. You're gonna rip the ultimate.
I'm on the POV. I'm looking for it.
You're gonna rip the ultimate.
I believe in it. Yeah, there it is.
You're gonna throw it.
Oh, and a good Orisa almost 3 into it. Nice combination. Although, they also committed the Wu Yang ult there. So, oh, the Kitsune because there was no time. I forgot about time banks. Wind. I wasn't looking at the time.
Seconds for the ultimate. It's like it's gonna come. It's gonna go. It's gonna go. I mean, the Kiangs are gonna be able to make sure that they set a win con here, though, with their percentage of not being full capped here, as they just need to push to about full capping the map, but with a total of 10 minutes if you cap every single side, or I think like 8 to 10 minutes, it shouldn't be too much of a burden.
Yeah, it's definitely, this is doable here, you know, not quite the end of the map. They left a little bit of space there, so, you know, they have a strict win condition here, no playing for overtime, you know, but at the same time, I mean, that felt like a pretty good attack for the Glammed Grizzlies, in my opinion. I feel like they were able to get, you know, a decent buffer for themselves and now have an opportunity to play the defense. And let's see what adjustments they're looking to make here, as it looks like Hyper is gonna forego the Bastion for Junkrat gameplay.
This is, I'm assuming they believe Spinal's going to go back to this, or they're going to stick on this main being able just to shoot down main. But it's definitely an unorthodox pick here, unless your name is Coleslaw, so
I mean,
we'll
I've
see
seen,
what
I've
the
seen the
hyper
Hyper
is going to come out.
I've
have you?
seen the Hyper Junkrat before in a previous game I casted, and honestly, it was pretty good. I think I actually watched Hyper play Junkrat on this map, so it's a play. You know, this team likes the Junkrat here. So we'll see if it ends up having the value it did last time I watched this team play. But, oh, Southwest under a lot of pressure. Very low, very early, but should be able to stabilize on this left lane. So let's see how now that we've identified that the Junkrat is there, let's see how the Kiangs approach this attack as Spinal gets set up on the point early.
Exactly, but it's not going to be able to do anything as Trevin's going to pop this gold a little bit early. Odin already forcing the gold. Nutty 1 HP as well, sitting in this high ground. Having the pressure of Dr. Jargo and Southwest shooting these orbs and nades around the corner. Spinal's going to be able to put his big toe back on the point wall from Odin, hoping to cheese out a little tick here, but good nade here from Nuttier, being able to open up the pressure for Nuttier on point. Is this going to be the first pick here of the map? Is going to go to Trevin after the first minute.
Yeah.
And EJ's going to be looking up on Dr. Jargo shortly after, and that's just going to be impressive. Spinal opting to not play the Reinhardt into the Junkrat, going to swap back. And it's just going to be a good fight here for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, understandable swap onto the Orisa, the ability to, you know, choose to just eat those Junkrat projectiles with that spear spin instead of having to just tank all of that with your shield or with your health bar. Should be really nice for Spinal here, as he is immediately going to look to clear out this Junkrat from this left room, creating a lot of space on this lane in Hotel as the Junkrat is forced back to the arches.
Exactly, so it's 2 minutes on the clock, and Matt's going to be able to get this pill. A little bit of a shallow window, as EJ is going to fall down shortly after that. Trevin's being forced to walk forward with no care. Trying to run these ticks, maybe going a little early though. Trevin looking for flooded the background. Pops the ult a little prematurely, as this is going to fall down to Dr. Jargo, but Matt's going to hit a direct shot on a jumping M right here, as nobody's on the point, and Spinal walking to the high ground. Nade's going to be eaten by Nuttier, speared off at the height, and Spinal's going to be able to stable as Trevin is trying to book his way back to the objective here to make sure to get back before the last tick.
Yeah, this is going to be a difficult recontest. The Kitsune Rush is available, and it's just the nano boost on the other side. Trevin cannot get to the point.
He's not there.
Yeah, Met's also going to go down, and so is Nuttier, so it's going to be hard to hold these arches as well. That could be the most difficult choke point of the second point of King's Row, is these arches, and oh yeah, Trevin's going to go down. The Kimono Kiangs will be able to get right through those arches, no problem, and they have 5 ults available for when the glammed Grizzlies do eventually get their recontest together.
Exactly, that going in the second point.
Yeah, EJ moving over to the Kiriko as well here. No more Baptiste, so we'll see how that affects things.
I think it bodes well, especially when you think Odin has blizzards and such, but if we look at the Kiangs, they haven't used any ultimates yet.
Yeah, they got 5! That's a scary ult bank.
Versus the 2 here that the defense have to have. Question is, how are the Grizzlies going to come back into this? Need to find a opening pick here, and they might be able to find that on Dr. Jargo.
Ooh, the tire's coming out.
Getting ripped early by Hyper225, looking to go on these rooftops, is not going to be able to sail the roof as he thinks. Spinal antied in. 1 HP, and Nano comes out by Nuttier onto Trevin. Maybe not necessary, but is still going to be successful regardless, as the pressure is now on the Kiangs as they have to push back in.
Yeah, no, the 5 ults available, they didn't really commit much, only the Orisa Terra Surge. So, you know, it's not the worst fight loss ever, as 2 ults did get used on the other side, so now it's just the Terra Surge of Trevin available. As Rasa will Kitsune Rush into the choke and go down Trevin's Terra Surge. Huge value, but Trevin getting very low. Oh. A really nice use of that Terra Surge, getting the pick onto Rasa in the Kitsune Rush, and once again, you know, we're not committing a lot of ults into these fights for the Kiangs, so it doesn't feel that bad that we're losing, but we're bleeding time off the clock. And now the ults are coming back online for the Glam Grizzlies.
Especially if we look at that, I mean, the Grizzlies are going to be able to slowly siphon their ults back on. They still have 2 online, but if we think about it, the Kiangs could have built like 5 more ultimates over this, but they've not been investing too much, and this is their time to cash in. As that's a 2-2 ultimate here. Shevan's going to be able to eat these, is going to get picked out here by Dr. Jugger, but Med is in the backline with their own Emrail, finding a pick, trying to get Odin, but Odin's going to be able to get a good wall and be able to stable. As now it looks like the map is flipped, as Nuttier and Met and Hyper are stuck on the wrong half of the map.
This is getting awkward. Looks like Met's just going to try to step up, look for the trade, goes for it onto Southwest, but can't find it. Nuttier. Is Nuttier looking to spawn camp Dr. Yargo here? Is that what we're doing? Oh my god, that's what we're doing. He got it! He got it! The spawn camp onto Dr. Yargo comes out, but the Blizzard on part as well. It's going to make it very difficult for this recontest to come out for Trevin, but Nuttier gets the nano off onto Trevin. But Spinal gets big picks. Spinal gets 3 in that team fight ultimately. So, I like that flank play from Nuttier. I think that was fun. He got his one. He got the nano boost over onto Trevin, but ultimately not enough as Spinal gets a huge 3K.
I mean, exactly the minute on the clock still, or 2 minutes to be able to fully cap this. You still have the Trevin and Spinal both with the Terra Surges here. Tyre coming out from Hyper, we're going to maybe see a combo coming out, but a single combo with Terra Surge and Blizzard is going to be all the Kiangs need to make sure that this is not their last map.
Yeah, I mean, one good ultimate fight could come out and get us a map 4. So Rasa here has the Kitsune Rush available, and Spinal's going to use the Terra Surge, gets the pick on a Met, 1 HP on Nuttier as well. Kitsune Rush coming out, but here's the Tyre. Goes down to Dr. Yargo's nade. Nothing found by the Wu Yang ult there from Spinal, but is able to walk down Hyper. Met and Nuttier now stalling on the cart. Just EJ now. And that will be a map win for the Kimono Kiangs, as they will force us to a map 4.
No, it is not over. It's reverse sweep time. Potentially. But you will see here, folks, as we are going to go to a short break after we watch this Trevin play the game. Trevin, I think, has gotten play on all 3. No, Odin got play on Atlas. So Trevin should be 2 to play the game so far. But with
oh
the
my
big
god, it's this. Dude, I'm so
map.
glad I was watching Trevin POV when that happened. It was amazing.
Alrighty, folks. We are going to go to a short break, though. Stay tuned, as this series is not over. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Overwatch Clash Week 6 here with the Kamino Kiangs versus the Grizzlies. The glammed Grizzlies. Coming into Circuit Royale, bans are Orisa and... One second. Orisa and May. May ban here from the side of the Grizzlies, which makes sense because Odin has been playing this May primarily here. And the Orisa ban is obviously because Trevin has been balling out all night here on any hero he plays, and they're just trying to limit the amount of pokes. As they're also putting Odin on the tank here for the side of the Kiangs. I'm assuming to play this Domina here, but I won't know for 5 seconds. But what are your thoughts coming into here, Greg?
My first thought is, this is the Shambali Monastery here was actually the pick from the Kiangs. The Grizzlies decided to give the Kiangs their pick of escorts, and so it looks like the Kiangs, they won that Brawl Mirror on the previous map on King's Row, and they're looking to go to an escort where it is most viable for them to force that Brawl Mirror again. I think Shambali is a map where a Brawl Mirror is quite doable, but, with that Spinal Reinhardt once again coming out, I looks like that's what they're gonna be looking for. So on the flip side, the Grizzlies, with no more Orisa available to them, we'll see what the adaptation is as they try to find a way to outpoke the Brawl with the Trevin Sigma, and a pause screen comes out.
Yeah, and it looks like we are going to go to a pause because Ross is AFK.
We might know what character they might know what character Spinal's on now.
No. Spinal typed that.
Yeah, Spinal chose to type catchphrase with 3 exclamation marks.
You don't know that. Hey man, could be joy and whimsy here.
You know what? That's my bad for not being a whimsical enough person. This is what happens when you get old and get a job. But we
do
got
see Nuttier EJ on the Weaver. Baptiste backline.
Yeah, this
typically
should be,
not seen.
This should be super stable for Trevin. He should be able to just get so much care and just shoot his gun, put so much pressure onto either this high ground or the Spinal shield, and Spinal getting very low. Met is on the Vendetta here, and that's gonna give a lot of pressure access to any potential split targets for the Kimono Kiangs, but the first pick will be found as Hyper goes down. Spinal making moves here.
Exactly such as we're seeing the Grizzlies slowly push top. Spinal is going to be able to get his back way onto them and be able to prevent the top. Is going to drop down to the point, and that's going to allow Trevin to be able to take this high ground with men.
Yeah, this is where this Sigma wants to try to get for this zoning, and what a good block in the southeast as Trevin continues his reign of terror upon this lobby, just continuously getting huge picks. But there is a Spinal and an Odin behind him. Trevin, are you aware? And the lamp will be forced, but Trevin gets out. So now,
and Trevin has flux.
Yeah, this is a quick flux, and with the lamp already used, good. Oh, but no follow-up available. Trevin forced to use hands. The rush is gonna get Trevin out here. Nuttier going down as well, and the cleanup gonna come through as the Kimono Kiangs will stabilize here.
Yeah, and I mean, even with just investing the flux, it was just a little shy early. Obviously, you built it early. You want to rip it fast, but just the follow-up, you need Matt to be in there. You need Hyper to get some nades. You need to leave Nuttier on the point. And Rosso was able to follow up with the fact that they were just able to stable this and force their Kitsune and take a favorable trade here, might I add. Oh, from the top ropes.
What a good life grip, though, and the window as well to stabilize. Odin's going to go down here, and this is suddenly looking good for the Glammed Grizzlies, despite a nice shatter from Spinal.
Exactly such is now they just are able to not essentially cheat an ultimate, but they were traded 1-for-1. 2 ultimates used by both teams so far. We're opening with the Sanctuary a little early with the Emre ult, being able to prevent that from being lost, as that is going to be able to find the spare kit onto Hyper as the lamp is gone. Looking for another one onto Met falling down to 1 HP, and Dr. Jugger is going to be able to get 2 here with the Protocol Override, I think its name is.
Yeah, really nice ultimate there from Dr. Yargo, and the stagger will now come out onto Trevin. Now on the flip side, Hyper coming up on the Override Protocol on the other side. In Southeast, they're using the Sanctuary. That can be a really good way to shut down that Override Protocol, as Trevin's going to move back over to that Doomfist that we saw earlier in the series. He's been getting a ton of value out of that pick, and EJ onto the Kiriko. So 2 strong DPS ults, only the Tor Bolt available for the Kamino Kiangs. We'll see what happens here.
30 seconds remaining.
Exactly. So it's Trevin also on this Doomfist, trying just to get another touch, looking for another fight off the Sick. And you still have the Dead ult, you have the Hyper ult. Met being able to come in from this angle is going to clean up on the Dr. Jargo, as that's going to be down. Odin using the core to be able to zone this point, though. Trevin flying on orange speed is going to get life grip, though, back. Hyper's going to use this opportunity to walk in, looking at Southwest. We know he doesn't have a Sanctuary. Both supports falling down to half HP here for the side of the Kiangs, as now Hyper was not able to find a pick. Voss is able to ult towards the point, allowing Spinal to be server admin, as OT is taking Spinal's little split. Is going to get the shatter onto Nutty. Is going to barely live here at 1 HP, trying to find Hyper, as Trevin's trying to force this point. Is going to get off the cart. Who's going to touch it? Has to be EJ. If EJ falls, it's going to be rough. EJ no Suzu, and Trevin's going to get pinned back, and Ross is going to be able to get the nice little hijack kill onto EJ as the cleanup with the fire strikes from Spinal. And they're going to hold first point.
Yeah, you see why the Kimono Kiangs wanted to go to this map. Of all of the escorts, this is one where Reinhardt is probably, the most viable, and they made it look really good there. A very strong hold for the Kimono Kiangs, but there is some hope here for the Glammed Grizzlies. This is a difficult first point to finish. Getting stuffed on the first point of Shambali Monastery is not an uncommon occurrence at all, and we are seeing Reinhardt played with no speed boost, no Symmetra, no way to move him around the map. How are we going to clear out the angles on this Spinal Reinhardt if they do decide to run that back?
So, the impressiveness, it's just so hard to beat, to break through the Reinhardt Tor without finding angles here, which I don't think the Kiang or the Grizzlies were ever able to find, because it's so hard to play front to back into a Reinhardt with Kiriko pocket, Mizuki hats, and just Emre Torb spam. You have to find an angle to punish this Mizuki for even just picking the character, punish this Kiriko, but on a map like Shambali, it's just hard to do.
Yeah,
but
really
somebody
difficult.
just has to do. Somebody has to do it. It's just hard to do, though.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing to accomplish. So, understandable from the Grizzlies there, as Trevin gonna look for this Ramatra spawn hold by the looks of it here. Or are they just gonna sit in that room? Oh, good sonar arrow scouts that all out from Dr. Yargo. That's smart. And Spinal will once again be on this Reinhardt. So how are we going to clear out these angles as the Reinhardt? The Ramatra comp is just as comfortable trying to play that front to back as the Reinhardt was. So what is going to be the solution here? And it's going to be Odin with a huge pick on a Met. That's a
30 seconds into the fight, and it's just going to be a full bloodbath here, as that's all the all the Grizzlies going to be wiped out, as Cart is going to move to potentially here final fight.
Yeah, now the one nice thing was that was a very far forward fight from the Glammed Grizzlies, and so they are going to get very nice positioning here onto this recontest. They've got a long way on this lane here, and Trevin in a lot of danger now. The teleport broken, the lamp forced Trevin. The pin misses from Spinal though, so Trevin able to just block hard here. Nuttier gets the defensive nade out and able to stabilize, but now Hyper under a lot of pressure goes down to Odin. Huge side lane pick from the Venture. That is what was missing from a lot of the Grizzlies attack, as they are now looking at a 5 versus 4 advantage and make that 5 versus 3 as Trevin goes down. And that will be Shambali Monastery. Very, very confident win for the Kimono Kiangs, as this Reinhardt comp looked excellent on a map that it can force you to front to back so heavily.
Very, very dominant map here, as now we're going into map 5 territory. The pressure, the ball is in the Grizzlies court, as the pressure just having a potential reverse sweep is going to be unsurmountable. Or are they going to break the reverse sweep allegations and just prove that they deserve this win? We will know that shortly here, folks, as we are going to go to a little break. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Aurora Overwatch Clash here, Week 6, Map 5 versus the Grizzlies and the Kiangs. Is it the Kiangs? I'm so
Yeah, it's the Kiangs.
Yes, it is the Kiangs. Kiangs versus Grizzlies, Map 5. Potential reverse sweep here for favor of the Kiangs as the pressure is in the Grizzlies' court. The ball is in their court as they have lost the last 2 maps. And we are going into Runasapi with the bans being
Symmetra from the Kiangs and Kiriko from the Grizzlies.
Kiriko from the Grizzlies trying to prevent this Kiri Mizuki backline that they've been running with this Reinhardt. But I mean, I don't know, the BAP might just be stronger than the Kiriko when you're playing this kind of like 5-man just bunker comp.
Yeah, the Baptiste can be really powerful here, so I don't know how much the Kiangs will miss the Kiriko. Now, obviously, Rush is a really good ultimate. Suzu is an extremely powerful and versatile cooldown, but there is no, there's no shortage of value from a good Baptiste player in a Reinhardt comp. So it's going to be interesting to see how that affects things. On the other side, Met been playing very nice on the Symmetra throughout this series, so an understandable target ban to try to take out a character with, I think most people would agree, one of the best ults in the DPS pool, and incredibly powerful utility for the team that has been well utilized so far for the Glammed Grizzlies.
I mean, I completely agree with you. And now coming onto a map that is Runasapi, one of the maps that's more snowbally as it is a push game mode. We will be seeing the Trevin coming back on the Doom, which we have seen all night so far. Always has performed exceptionally well most of the time. Coming out with this Tracer, this Echo, with Hyper back on the Moira, Nutty on the Lu. just a 5-man rush down. Not a rush down, but just a dive comp versus. You have the Mizuki, you have the Moira, you have the Mei, you have the Emery, you have the Ryan. This is a comp that's very stable, holds together, but will lose over time. But we will need to see how both teams are going to pressure this out.
Yeah, interesting to see that Moira pick come out for Rasa. So that's going to give them a bit of a timer here. How long until the Moira runs out of a resource? Once that Moira is out of resource, it should be a lot easier for the Doomfist dive comp to potentially find their picks. But Dr. Yargo, a huge first kill onto EJ, finishes off Trevin as well. Great plays from the Emre on the Kamino Kiangs.
Exactly such as now the pressure is going to be in as the first fight is in, coming out, getting the 15 meters already, and it's just you're seeing these swaps already come out with Trevin going EJ swapping, and now it's just the pressure is just you could feel it.
Yeah,
the tension.
Immediate swap over to this Orisa Moira comp is going to be really interesting here. They're just going to look to take this Brawl mirror, and we're getting really close to seeing a checkpoint here for the Kamino Kiangs, so Trevin's got to get hustling to avoid this checkpoint, but no one's going to be able to get there. This is a really, really powerful start now for the Kamino Kiangs, but with Spinal dying, it's going to be difficult to keep this momentum up.
Oh yeah, I mean, EJ is going to get traded out there, so there's a 4v4 as
Trevin died really
Odin's going to be able to kill Trevin, and now it's a 4v3 as the Kiangs are going to keep pushing this pressure.
Yeah, Trevin dying really late there means Spinal's going to have plenty of time to come back into this fight, so potentially, you know, no real loss of tempo from losing your tank in the previous engagement. And now we've also got, you know, ultimates are starting to come online, which could potentially allow them to snowball even further. Rasa, a huge lead on this Coalescence as Odin is forced off cart, and finally cart control taken by the Glam Grizzlies.
Oh yes, do with the fire strike.
Oh my goodness.
As now the pressure's going in, we're taking the Coalescence, making sure we're fully capitalizing on this, as Met is trying to protect the card, as Southwest is trying to, or Met is trying to steal the card, as Southwest protecting is now 100 meters already in 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, the snowball, you mentioned the potential for snowball in the pre-map analysis, and it has gone crazy here. Now, 4 ults available for the Kamino Kiangs and 120 meters to 0.
Exactly, and it's going to be hard. You have the Hyper ult, you have the Terra Surge, you have the close High Noon, but you can't High Noon into Sanctuary. You can't Terra Surge into a Blizz, or you could, but it's just, you're not going to be able to do too much in it. As now you're seeing Spinal angling onto Nuttier here as the Reinhardt taking Rasa with him. Sanctuary comes out, Dr. Jargo finding his first pick. Every ult coming outside as just the Sanctuary is going to prevent them, as Hyper is going to fall down after that. Spinal's going to be able to clean up. It's just going to be met, and folks, it's been 3.5 minutes.
Trevin back on the Doomfist, but there's an ult on the cart from the Mei, goes down immediately. EJ's gonna try to keep the stall up a little while longer, but cleared out eventually, and a speed run of Runasapi from the goodness gracious, the Kamino Kiangs, as they will successfully complete the reverse sweep. Very impressive from the Kamino Kiangs.
See for that, but now we get to watch Dr. Jargo getting this nice little I believe it was a 3-pick here after getting Terra Surge. Looking for the second. Gets the second, looking for a third.
Yeah, big 2K there from Dr. Yargo. And the map go in favor of the Kiangs. So,
and it's that time of the night.
Yeah, we got to pick a potential MVP here, Wind. I think there's 2 big candidates for the Kamino Kiangs. Do you have a strong... I don't have a strong preference between either of them, so I think I'll let you make that pick there.
I mean, I think Dr. Jargo has performed fabulously on this Emery tonight, especially on that character. And typically you see them on the Freya as well, so it's not something that's like they're number 1, but like a close 2 or 3. And I think they've just performed great. But the other option I'm believing as well is Spinal on this Reinhardt. was very strong. You saw good shatters being able to flank or even just holding on the cart with the team and holding this pressure is just very impressive. But it's just I don't have a big preference. I'm gonna leave it up to you. Which one
I
out of
tried to
those
leave
two,
it
I
up to
believe.
you, man. I don't know. If I have to pick, I want to give it to the Reinhardt player just because I think that's fun.
Alrighty, that works for me.
I
So
think
Spino,
Reinhardt's, Dr. Yargo did a great job coming in and just picking the meta DPS and then getting great value out of one of the strongest characters in the game. Spinal came in and picked the German rectangle man who really, I think genuinely is a very strong character right now, but you don't see a lot of Reinhardt play at the highest level of Overwatch, just not really in the meta much. And was able to, assert that Reinhardt pick onto the lobby and do get crazy good value consistently throughout the series. Even on the maps that the Kiangs lost on the Lijiang Tower, also playing that Reinhardt, still looked very solid on it. So I was very impressed by the Spinal Reinhardt consistently through this series. Although Dr. Yargo, still massive shout out, did a very nice job on the M-Ray.
exactly such. I don't know if Spinal has the ability to join the VC though.
Yeah, I don't have no drag permission, unfortunately.
And that's perfectly fine with us. But yeah, I'll send out a DM and everybody, folks, stay tuned to Saturday, which I believe there's going to be 4 or such games then.
Yeah, 4 games on Saturday. Prod confirmed on a couple of those as well.
And we got Spinal in the VC. This is
got
our
Spinal.
MVP.
Holy shit, I got pulled? Am I the GOAT?
You got
What
MVP
happened?
Spinal.
No way.
You got dragged by somebody in the shadows, I believe. So
Wow, that was so
how
sweet
does
of
it
you guys.
feel completing the reverse sweep here?
Dude, I think we know what comps we like now. No lie.
Really?
Yeah. We seem to be getting like we had a bad start, but I think that we've kind of hit the ground running in this group, and I think we're starting to figure shit out. Rest in peace, Carbology, though.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, unfortunate. Did have that ringer in this game, but still able to pull it out. And it looks like you guys are really establishing yourselves with this Reinhardt comp, forcing that on, I think, 4 out of the 5 maps in this series. So, what has you guys so convinced that Reinhardt is your style?
Our team really, we're here to troll a lot, and that's part of the fun. I think that we're a lot more coordinated on this Reinhardt, and the trolling becomes a lot easier. Like solo shattering people, getting the emotes off, and like sending love.
Yeah, I did notice the emotes. They were called out on the stream. They were appreciated. I thought you were just building ult for your supports.
That's what we said too. So great minds think alike.
All right.
Alrighty, so I got another question for you. Who's like the main shot caller on your team, especially when you're playing these bunker comps where you have to hold the point and these rotates that I've been seeing too? Like, who's the one in your VC that's kind of like guiding your team?
I think we all really keep the energy up. I think our comms might be the worst you've ever heard because every single person on our team over comms, and it's really good. But you can hear the rest of my team, I'm sure. But the everyone kind of does their job over calming, and really we just kind of go based on like a play or don't play. There's a lot of get out if you're human or play from O and Rasa, yeah. So
Right.
but otherwise
Well,
it's kind of like the whole team's doing their job really calm and hard. A lot of energy.
Wonderful. That's so fun.
alrighty, I'm gonna leave the if you have any more questions here for Greg to ask Spinal, or I'll give you El Clasico.
No, I'm good. I think we can go into it.
All right.
Well, Spinal, if you were not the one to win MVP for tonight, who on your team would deserve it and why?
I think I'd give it to Rasa. there was a lot of times tonight that I was able to just hold shield in front of Rasa while he ran someone down, and I really appreciate that, especially on the support role. If I can have my Kiriko throwing kunais at all times, that's really what I'm looking for.
Yeah, those kunais do a lot of damage. Good Kiriko can get so many picks for your team, so very
Absolutely.
understandable. All right, well,
folks,
Awesome.
that was all for tonight. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you, Spinal, for joining the VC, and congrats on your win. You could go back to your team VC to celebrate a little bit, and we'll close off things here.
Awesome. Sounds great. There's no one in my team VC, so I'm just gonna leave.
All right, well, have a good night,
have a
Spinal.
nice night.
All right.
Spinal.
Good night.
Congrats.
Alrighty, folks. Thank you for tuning into the Kiangs versus Grizzly match here. Stay tuned for Saturday. I think it's either 4 or 5 matches, so a couple of them hopefully will get prodded here, but if not, I know there's at least 2 of them getting prodded, so stay tuned for those. And I've been Wind. This has been Greg. And if you have any closing words.
Yeah, have a nice night, everybody. All right.